Okay, now we are going to see about how the cryptanalysis is done in Caesar cipher. Cryptanalysis means it is the study of analyzing the encryption algorithms and trying to find the plain text from the known ciphertext. That is what cryptanalysis process. This was done by cryptanalyst, and the cryptanalyst or the or can the cryptanalysts can also be called as hackers. And here 26 possible keys are available in Caesar cipher because as we have seen an example, uh, there the key size is 3. Likewise, we can change the key size from 0 to 25 because the total number of alphabet available in English is 26. So we can take the key size from 0 to 25. So totally we are having 26 possible keys. Suppose the hacker want to hack the information from the ciphertext, then they may simply try each and every key in that ciphertext, and they will try to find the plain text. So this approach is called as brute force search because brute force is a technique where we are going to try all the possibilities. So that is what trial and error method. I think you studied this in design and analysis of algorithm subject. So that's how the hackers will try to get the plain text from the ciphertext. So here an example is given to you. You will try by yourself to convert this ciphertext into plain text. That is, you are going to do the process like a cryptanalyst, right? So the given ciphertext is going to be GCUA BQDTGCM. This is the ciphertext given to you. You have to break this ciphertext and find the plain text, right, by trying all possible keys. That is the 26 keys are available here. So by using this effort, the hackers will get the plain text. So this is the disadvantage of Caesar cipher. So to overcome this disadvantage, we are going for the mono alphabetic cipher. In Caesar cipher, we are just sifting the alphabets, but in mono alphabetic cipher, we are not going to sift the alphabets. We are going to shuffle the letters arbitrarily, which means for each plain text, we are going to map a different ciphertext alphabet, right? So see here, each plain text letter maps to a different random ciphertext letter, and hence the key is 26 letters long, which means for each alphabet we can have any alphabet as the cipher alphabet, right? For see here, all the alphabets are given, that is from A to Z, and the corresponding cipher alphabet is also given here. This is what the mapping. By referring this mapping, we are going to do the encryption process. This is the given example plain text, right? This is the given example plain text. That is, if we wish to replace letters, that is what the plain text given. We are going to convert that into ciphertext, right? For I am taking the first letter in the plain text, that is I, and here for I the corresponding cipher alphabet is W. So I am mapping here. So it is going to be substituted by W, and for F the corresponding alphabet is I, so it is going to be substituted with I, and for W the cipher alphabet is R, so it is replaced with R. So likewise, by referring this mapping, the ciphertext conversion is happening here. So for each letter there will be one cipher letter that is chosen by the user. So here we are not using any key. So if you find out the key, then you may not. If you find out that single key like Caesar cipher, we cannot find the cipher key because for each alphabet there will the corresponding cipher for each plain text alphabet, the corresponding cipher alphabet is going to be different in mono alphabetic cipher. So when compared to Caesar cipher, the complexity level is very high. and for each alphabet we are having 26 possible keys, right? So that's why the total number of keys available here is 26 factorial, and because of this larger key size, it is this monoalphabetic cipher is having strength when compared to Caesar cipher, but it is also having some loophole. So before finding that loophole, monoalphabetic substitution cipher dominated the first millennium AD, and it was broken by Arabic scientists in 9th century. So after that, to overcome the disadvantage of monoalphabetic cipher, Playfair cipher was introduced. So before going into Playfair cipher, we will see how monoalphabetic cipher was hacked. Monoalphabetic cipher was hacked because of frequency analysis concept. As you know, in English we are having specific alphabet which is having higher frequency. That is, some alphabets are used frequently when compared to other alphabets, like E, A, E, I, O, U. These are the letters which are used frequently in English words, but some other letters are not used frequently, like Z, J, K, Q, X. These are the letters which are not used frequently. It was used rarely, right? So based on the occurrences of letters, based on the frequency of the occurrence of letters in words, they had formulated a frequency table. Based on that table, they tried to hack the ciphertext from the they will try to hack the plain text from the ciphertext. So because of that frequency table only, it was hacked. So to overcome this, we are going for, this is what the example frequency table which was represented in a graphical manner, and so Arabian scientists in 19th century hacked this system. That is a monoalphabetic cipher system. So they used only the frequency. They compared the counts of the letters which is occurred in the ciphertext, and they try to compare that with the known table. So they had by using that only they hacked the system. Okay, so we will see one example how it is hacked. So this is this is the ciphertext given, and here for every alphabet, the number of occurrence of that alphabet which is present in this ciphertext was calculated, and it was tabulated. After that, they tried to guess what is what will be the exact plain text letter for that particular ciphertext letter, and they guessed that P and Z are E and T, and Z and W is T and H, and hence ZWP. ZWP is a sequence which was occurred frequently here. So ZWP is actually the word that. So proceeding with the trial and error, finally they get the plain text corresponding to this ciphertext. The plain text for that ciphertext is, it was disclosed yesterday, that is U is the cipher alphabet of I, and Z is the cipher alphabet of T. So this is how they try to hack the plain text from the ciphertext. And here the ciphertext conversion is happening by using letter by letter. So that's why it is possible to count the letters which are occurring more frequently, and it is possible to hack the system. So to overcome that, Playfair cipher was introduced, and here we are not going to consider letter by letter, we are going to have the multiple letter encryption concept. And see this, even though large number of keys are used in monoalphabetic cipher, it is actually hacked by the hackers, right? So in order to improve the security only, we are going to have multiple letter encryption technique. That is what Playfair cipher, and it was invented by Charles Wheatstone in 1854, and it was named by Playfair cipher because of his friend Baron Playfair. So he named his cipher technique by the name of his friend. And here in Playfair cipher, we are going to form a matrix, that is 5 cross 5 matrix. The size of the matrix is going to be 5 cross 5, and that matrix is created by using a keyword. Okay, see here, for the ciphertext conversion, we are going to use a keyword. Here the keyword taken is monarchy, and the matrix was formulated by using the keyword first. See here, the monarchy was the letter which is present in monarchy was placed in the first row, and it occupies the half of the second row also. And after that, the remaining cells in that 5 cross 5 matrix was filled by using the alphabets which were missed in this monarchy keyword. And here we have to consider from the alphabet A. A is already present in the keyword A, monarchy, and B, after that the alphabet B is not present in the keyword monarchy, so it is filled in the second row after the keyword. And C, while considering C, it is also present in the keyword monarchy, so it is not used here. And after C, D, we are taking the alphabet D. D is also not present in the keyword monarchy, so it is used here. It is used to fill in the next cell of B. And after that, E is considered, and E is not present in the keyword monarchy, and it is filled in this cell. Likewise, the remaining cells are occupied with the letters which are not present in the keyword monarchy. And while filling this, the size of the key matrix is only 5 cross 5, that is 25. 25 alphabets can be used to fill this matrix, but we are having 26 alphabets, so only one cell is going to have 2 alphabets. So we have considered I and J in the same cell. So we have formulated the 5 cross 5 matrix. Likewise, if any keyword is given to you, we have to fill the rows and columns by the keyword first, and then fill the remaining cells by using the words, so by using the letters which is not present in the keyword. And after formulating this 5 cross 5 matrix, we have to do the encryption process by referring this 5 cross 5 matrix. Suppose if you are going to have the plain text as balloon, that balloon text must be splitted into pairs. And while splitting into pairs, we are having one specific rule. The rule is, if a pair is a repeated letter, insert a filler like X. For example, here balloon is going to be splitted as a pair. So BA is the first pair, and while considering the second pair, we are having LL, but LL is having the letter in a repeated manner. So to avoid that, we have to use the filler letter, that is X. So the second pair is going to be LX, and the third pair is going to be LO, and the fourth pair is going to be OM. So this is how we have to make a pair from the plain text. So after forming the pair, we have to do the conversion process, that is converting from plain text to ciphertext. So for conversion process, we have to consider pair by pair manner. And for considering pair, suppose I am having AR as a plain text pair, then the corresponding ciphertext pair is RM. So now we will see how it is converted. So for that, we are having three different rules for this conversion. In that, the first rule is if both letters fall in the same row. That is, while converting this, we have to refer the matrix, right? Which we have formulated already. While referring that matrix, if both the letters fall in the same row, replace each with letter to right. And okay, we will see that first. A and R. See, A and R. A and R is the plain text pair, and here A and R are present in the same row. So if it is so, we have to replace A by R and R by M. Okay, R by M, because see the rule, wrapping back to start from end, right? Suppose we had see this, while considering A and R, suppose I am having N and A means in the same as a plain text pair, N must be replaced with A and A must be replaced with R. So NA must be replaced with AR. But now I am having AR as the plain text pair. So A must be replaced with R and R must be replaced with M. So we have to take it as a circular in a circular manner, right? So this is what the rule for the pair which is present in the same row. If your pair is present in the same column, then for example, if I am having OH as a plain text pair, then O must be replaced with H and H must be replaced with F. So OH must be replaced with HF. Okay, so for that the rule is if both letters fall in the same column, replace each with the letter below it, right? We have to replace the letter with the letter which is below it, right? Again here also, if it comes to the end, we have to again wrapping to top from bottom. Okay, for example, MU is encrypted to CM. So the cipher pair for the plain text pair MU is CM. Okay, again MU. See here, M and U, it is present in the same column. So the letter M is replaced by C and the letter U must be replaced by M. We have to make it in a circular manner, or we have to consider it in a circular manner so that we can replace U by M. Okay, the letter below this U is going to be M. So the letter below this M is going to be C. So MU can be replaced with CM. Right? And if the pair is present in different row and different column, right? We will see one example here. See here, the fourth rule is otherwise each letter is replaced by the one in its row in the column of the other letter of the pair. If each letter is replaced by the one in its row, okay, we have to consider the row letter, and in the column of the other letter of the pair, which means the intersecting point, right? While seeing the example, you may easily understand. See here, if I am having P and B, okay, PB as a plain text pair, then P must be replaced with S because the intersecting point of P and B is S, and the intersecting point of P and B is H. So this is S, this is H. So we for B we have to consider the letter which is available in the same row, and for P we have to consider the letter which is available in the same row. The row letter must be considered for the replacement. So P can be replaced as S and B can be replaced as H. Suppose if your plain text pair is PB, then SH is the cipher pair. Okay, we can consider another one example. For example, I am going to have O and S. Okay, O and S. OS is the plain text pair, and the corresponding ciphertext pair must be O can be replaced with the intersecting point is A. See here, for O and S the intersecting point is A, and for O and S here the intersecting point is P. So O can be replaced by A and S can be replaced by P. So OS can be replaced by AP, right? So this is how the ciphertext can be formed from the plain text, right? So IM, suppose BP, I am having BP means B and P, right? BP. So B will be replaced with H and P will be replaced with S. Then EA, that is HS encrypt to BP. So if you are having HS, then it should be converted into BP. So the reverse process will be carried out in the receiver side, right? So the same manner as we did it for the ciphertext conversion, we have to do for the decryption also. That by referring that 5 cross 5 matrix, we can do the cipher. We can do the decryption process, right? So EA, for example, I am having EA. Okay, see, where is E? E is in the third row and A is in the first row. For EA, for E, the corresponding cipher alphabet is I or J, and A, it is going to be M. So the cipher pair will be IM or JM. So both can be written. Okay, this is how encryption and decryption is carried out in Playfair cipher. So in Playfair cipher, we will discuss about how the security is available in Playfair cipher when compared to monoalphabetic cipher. In monoalphabetic cipher, the possible keys are 26 factorial, but in Playfair cipher, it is going to be 26 into 26, that is 676 diagrams, right? 676 diagrams, and here we have to do the cryptanalysis process. We have to formulate a frequency table by using 676 entries, and when compared to monoalphabetic cipher, here the frequency table is going to be very huge, and based on that we can measure that the security will be very high, and it was widely used for many years by US and British military in those days. But even though it is very strong when compared to monoalphabetic cipher, it was also hacked by the hackers, because if they are using few hundred letters as a plain text, then that can be easily broken. That is, the number of letters which is available in the plain text is a few hundreds, means then it can be easily broken by formulating the frequency table. Okay, but by putting a lot of effort, they may hack this system. So that was also hacked. So to overcome the disadvantage of this Playfair cipher, to overcome the loophole of this Playfair cipher, polyalphabetic cipher was introduced, right? So polyalphabetic cipher is used in order to break the frequency analysis concept, right? If we there in Playfair cipher, so based on the frequency analysis only, they had hacked the system, because even though we are using even though we are using pairing concept in English, there will be some frequency match. So based on that frequency match only, they had formulated the table, and by referring the table, they hacked that system, right? So to avoid that, here each letter is going to be converted into cipher letter by using a key alphabet, right? And the key is repeated here to the length of the plain text, right? So we'll see one example, then only you can easily understand. Here the cryptanalysis process is harder with more alphabets to guess and a flatter frequency distribution. And it is a key is used to select which alphabet is used for each letter of the message. Okay, for each letter there will be one key alphabet. Okay, we'll see an example. Here deceptive. Deceptive is a keyword and the plain text is we are discovered, save yourself. This is the plain text, right? By using the deceptive keyword, we are going to convert this plain text into ciphertext. As we have already discussed, a keyword should be repeated until it reaches the length of the plain text, right? Here the plain text length is very high when compared to the keyword deceptive, so it is repeated in order to reach the length of this plain text. And while converting, the same thing which was happened in Caesar cipher, we are going to do the same process here. The key value, that is the numerical value of D is 3 and the numerical value of W is going to be 22, right? So 22 plus 3, we are going to use the formula of Caesar cipher, that is P plus K mod 26. So P here, P value is 22 and the key value is 3. So 22 plus 3, we will get 25. So 25 mod 26, the remainder will be 25 only. So the corresponding alphabet of the numerical value 25 is HM. So this is how the cipher text conversion is happening in polyalphabetic cipher. Here the main concept you have to notice, the keyword should be repeated until it reaches the plain text length. Okay, in under this polyalphabetic cipher category, the most famous cipher is Vigenère cipher. This is one of the polyalphabetic substitution cipher and it is a very simplest cipher. It was used effectively because we are going to refer one table. By using that table only, we are going to convert that cipher text. We will see that table now.